Today, we're going to be learning how to multiply using multi-digit numbers. And so, our learning target is to use those multi-digit numbers, and we're going to be using the standard algorithm to multiply. For today, our focus again is using those multi-digit numbers to multiply using that standard algorithm. The reason we're learning this is because in the real world, when we go out, we're going to have to calculate sometimes the total cost of different purchases. If you are going into construction or you're doing a home project, you're going to need to know the amount of material you might need for that project. Also, if you're trying to do maybe some type of task that involves time, you're going to need to learn how to use multi digit multiplication. I'm going to know that you've learned this by the time that you've practiced, you've watched this video, and done a couple different tasks to help your knowledge. You're going to take the mastery check and you're going to score a 4 points on that rubric. I also want you to consider some common mistakes that could be made when doing multi digit multiplication. Sometimes students forget to carry numbers over. Sometimes they misplace that decimal. Sometimes there's error in those basic multiplication facts. So I want you to be aware of that and be able to maybe communicate that as well along the way in different conversations that we have. So, first, if you haven't already, go ahead and pause this video and make sure you complete this check in. I want you to kind of come up with the goal today, think about different strategies you're going to use to be successful, and make sure you turn this into the bin once you have completed it. The next is you're going to watch this video. So you can go ahead and unpause and we can go ahead and watch this video. And then the third thing, once you get going and you've learned how to use multi-digit multiplication, is you're going to complete this roadmap to help you practice. And again, here's that mastery check to show if we have learned our material. A couple things on here is you must do the green. The can-dos are this pink color, and then this maroon is those aspire to do activities. And feel free to check in with me if you're like, I think I'm ready for a challenge, and we can look at some of those can do and aspire to do's together, and I can help guide you along that way. And then again, using those can do's and aspire to do's. So let's look at this example. So we already know how to solve multiplication problems that involve one digit. So if we were just looking at this problem right here, and we took away that 4, and we just had that number 2. We know how to solve that. We know to take the 2 times the 9, 2 times the 2, 2 times the 4, 2 times the 1. And we get our product, which would be 2,858. What we're doing now is we're adding another number. So now we have 42, okay? And when we add that second number in that tens place, we need to add a 0 down here. Okay, and then we would do the multiplication again. Just like they use two different colors of red and blue, sometimes when I am solving different multiplication problems, I'll use different colors as well. So if you need to, go ahead and pause this video so on your notes, you can use your different colored markers or colored pencils to help kind of see the first partial product and then that second partial product to be able to really understand how we're going to be solving these different problems. So again, we're going to just kind of take our knowledge of we already know how to multiply with one digit, but now we're going to take it and multiply by tens and be able to record that second partial product. I want you to pause the video. Now that we found those two partial products, how do you think we find that final product of this answer? So, what do you think? Maybe what do you wonder while you're looking at these kind of examples? And I want you to type that into the answer box. All right, thank you for going over that. And you're correct. It is going to be adding. I think some of you have noticed that there is an adding sign here. So once you find the answer for the ones place and the answer for that tens place, we're going to add them together to get our final product in these different problems. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do a couple examples together. And while I'm doing them, feel free to pause the video as needed and fill out your piece of paper with these notes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to say 8 times 6. So 8 times 6 is, and I want you to go ahead and write that answer down. So 8 times 6 is 48. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 8 here, and then I have to carry my 4 above that number 4. 8 times 4 is 32, plus that 4, and we get 36. Okay, there's nowhere else to regroup, so I'm going to go ahead and just drag this over here, and we're ready to go. Now, since we're going to the next place value, the tens, we need to add this 0. So we're going to go ahead and put a 0 right here, and then we're ready to multiply just like we did with the ones place. 9 times 6, and we get 54. So we're going to take our 4 and we're going to carry our 5 above. And again, this is where that color coding can really help if you need to change colors to kind of remember which one you carried. 9 times 4 is 36, and then we're going to add that 5 to get us 41. So oftentimes when students make mistakes, there's two ways that they might make a mistake here. Some students forget this 0 when they go to the next place value. Other times there's just multiplication errors. So if you need to, grab that multiplication chart as well to help you along the way. So those are like the two errors where I see most students might make a mistake when it happens. Now we're ready to add both partial products together. So we're going to do 8 plus 0, and that is 8. 6 plus 4, and we get 10. And I can carry my little 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then we have 4 plus nothing else, which is 4. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and check your answer to make sure that you got the same answer as me. Now we're going to go on to the next slide. Okay, so I want you to pause this video, solve it by yourself, type the answer in the response, and then we'll solve it together. All right, let's go ahead and see how you did. So let's see, we've got 8 times 2, which is 16, and I'm going to carry that 1. 8 times 5, which is 40, plus 1 is 41. 8 times 4, which is 32, plus 4 is 36. Now that we went to the next place value, I should have a 0. So I want you to do two things real quick. Did you get this partial credit correct for the 8? So with our 1, did you get 3,616? And did you remember that 0? If you did not, I want you to pause the video and go back and look for your mistake. Where did you make a mistake when it came to multiplying? All right, now let's go on to that tens place, that 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. We're going to carry our number 1. And then we're going to go to 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 1 is 13. Again, I want you to pause that video. Do you have this partial answer correct, this partial product? Do you have it correct? If not, I want you to go back and try to find your mistake. You most likely maybe forgot the 0, or you made a multiplication error. Now our last step is to add. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 6 plus 5 is 11. And we're going to carry our 1. And then we've got 3 plus 3 is 6, plus that 1, which we get 7. And then we have 1 plus nothing. All right, you should have got 17,176. Now for this one, I want you to again pause the video, solve it by yourself, and then we're going to again check our answers. So go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to solve this again. We added another number up here, but again, you know exactly what to do. You're able to take this 4 and multiply it by each of these different numbers. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. And I'm going to carry my 3. 4 times 5 is 20, and we have this 3 up here, so we're going to put 23. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Pause the video. Did you get this partial product correct? I want you to double check to make sure that you were able to answer this question correctly and double check this partial product before we move on. Okay, so now that we have this answer, we are going to the next place value. So we need to add a 0. Did you add a 0? Double check and make sure you added that 0. All right, we're ready to multiply again. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 5 is 20, plus that 3 is 23. 4 times 2 is 8, plus that 2 is that 10. Double check that partial product and make sure you got that one correct as well. Let's go ahead and add this up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 1 plus 0 is 1, plus our 1 plus nothing. Did you get this final answer correct? If so, great job. So I want you to think about, are you ready to practice? Have you mastered that multiplication using multi-digits, using that standard algorithm approach? So go ahead and give it a try. And don't forget, you are going to now use that roadmap to explore and show your understanding of the material. Feel free to check in with me as needed. Fill out this Google form if you need additional assistance along the way. Good luck.